I believe, and I learned very young from my parents, absolutely, that you don't try to build a wall. You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. There will not be one brick on the face of the earth that's going to be laid better than this brick that I'm going to lay in this next 10 minutes. And you do that every single day, and soon you have a wall. And I think psychologically, the advantage that gives me over a lot of people that I have been in competition with in different situations is it's difficult to take the first step when you look how big the task is. The task is never huge to me. It's always one brick.
Me too. I mean, it is amazing how people are from doing anything.
Absolutely.
Because they can't take the first step. Whereas you just say, look, all I'm doing is laying this one brick. I am not building the Great Wall of China.
Right. Absolutely.
Putting a brick here, and I'm going to have the best brick I can. Your father, I think had you and your brother work on the wall of China?
Oh yeah. We're talking about our figurative wall. That comes from work on a literal wall.
Yeah, right.
My father owned. It actually was an old bakery. When I was growing up, my father was an electrician and a refrigeration man. We would install supermarkets. You see the long freezer cases in supermarkets. We would install those long freezer cases and all the lights. That's what we would do every summer.
Yeah.
So this one year, my father had a shop, and he decided for whatever reason that he wanted a new wall on the front of his shop. So he tore down probably about 16 feet high and probably about 30 feet long. He just completely tore the wall down, and my brother and I had to dig a 6-foot hole.
For the foundation.
We would mix in the concrete by hand. A year and a half. We were building this wall for a year and a half. Every day after school, we would come and mix in concrete, put it in the hole, doing it. And it was just myself and my little brother. And I remember standing back, looking at that wall, saying, there's going to be a hole here forever. There'll never be anything but a hole here. And a year and a half later,
many days.
I know, a year and a half later, we laid the final brick. And my father stood back with my brother and I know he planned this. He says he didn't, but I know he had been planning this and writing this for the past 2 years. But we stood back, we looked at the wall, and he looked at my brother and said, don't y'all never tell me that you can't do something, and walked into the shop. As a child, my parents always told me you can be whatever you want to be, you can do whatever you want to do. And that office, that position, the highest office on the face of the earth, it suggests to people to take a daily confrontation with is fear. The problem with fear is that it lies, right? So fear tells you, hey, if you say that to that girl, she's gonna know she has you. And she'll never really be attracted to you if she knows how much you attracted to her. Don't say that. No, how we get her is when she walks by, ignore her. It's like, I'll bet on your shoulder. Fear tells you dumb like that, right? So, for me, the daily confrontation with fear has become a real practice for me since about 3 years ago. I went skydiving in Dubai, right? And skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear, right? So I gotta stand up. I gotta stand up. All right. So all your friends, what happens? You go out. I dropped my thing. So what happens is you go out the night before. And you take a drink with your friends, and somebody says, yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow. And you go, yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow. Yeah. You go, yeah. And everybody goes, yeah. Right? And you go home, right? You by yourself, you're like, Right? You're like, well, I mean, they was drunk too.
Right? So maybe they not, maybe, I mean, we don't have to go. We don't have to do it. So then at night, you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane, and you can't figure out why you would do that, right? And you're laying there, and you have the worst night's sleep of your life, but you still have the hope that your friends were drunk, right? So you wake up the next day and you go, down and you say where you were going to meet, and everybody's there. You're like, oh, all right, cool, right? So you get in the van, and you don't know that your friends had the same night that you had, because they're pretending like they did. They're like, yeah, man, my uncle's a Navy SEAL, and this is gonna be great. I'm looking forward to this. And you're like, oh my God. And your stomach is terrible. You can't eat and everything, but you don't want to be the only punk who doesn't jump out of this airplane. So you get there, and then you have this safety brief. And you're standing there, and the guys will tell you, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's going to happen is you're doing, well, why the hell, what could happen? If the chute wouldn't open, right? So you do a thing, and what you do is your first jump, you're attached to a guy who is going, he's going to walk you out. So you go, and you get there, and there's an airplane, and nobody's stopping. Everybody's still going. So you get onto the airplane, and you're sitting there, and it's extra because you're sitting on some dude's lap, some stranger. You're sitting on his lap, and it's like, you get trying to make small talk. Yeah, man. So you be jumping with people all the time, huh? Right, So, and then you just want to make sure, you got kids, right? You got people you need to see, right? You just want to make sure he's serious, right? So you get in there, so everything's normal. So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet, and you notice there's a light. It's red and it's yellow and green, right? So right now the light's red. So then you start thinking at some point the light's going to go green, and you don't know what's going to happen, right? And you wait, and it goes yellow, and the light goes green, and somebody opens the door, and in that moment you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Right? Terror. Oh, sorry, I'm spitting. Oh, sorry. No, terror. Right? So you go, and then, if you were smart, you sat in the back, so you don't go first, right? And then people start going out of the airplane. And you go, and the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing, and your toes are on the edge, and you're looking out down to death. And they say, on 3. And they say, 1, 2. And he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3. Right? Right? And you go, and you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying, right? It doesn't feel like falling, right? It's like you actually are kind of held a little bit by the wind, and then you start falling, and there's zero fear. You realize that the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. It's bliss. It's bliss. And you're flying. Right? And you're doing it. And then 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 40 seconds. And you have enough time to just kind of like, there's that building that's not like that. Oh, this is the ocean. Right? You start doing all of that. And the lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Just don't go. Why are you scared in your bed 16 hours before you jump? Why are you scared in the car? Why could you not enjoy breakfast? What did you need that? The fear is fear of what? You're nowhere even near the airplane. Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. It only just ruins your day. You don't have to jump. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of terror. On the other side of your maximum fear are all of the best things in life.
Separation of talent.
Yo, what's going on? Hey, Sean, how you doing?
All right, and yourself?
Oh man, I'm doing good after I heard that, man.
Powerful video.
Yeah, it is. Can you see me all right?
Yes, you can.
All right, great. So we're not going to try to be too long today. I do want to say that I wanted to try something different in this live, just going off, just playing some motivational stuff. And one of the reasons was because I understand, and I believe Sean does too, is we must slow down to speed up. So most people, you know, they look for information, whatever. If it's not what they expect it to be, they just put it down and move forward. So most people won't even get to this part. But for the ones that did, I hope you got something out of what Will Smith was talking about. And that's what me and Sean is about to talk about right now, is a couple of the nuggets that we got from, you know, the two segments that I played. And the first one was one brick at a time. Sean, I'm gonna let you go first, just to share what that particular segment, what you got out of that segment in your journey.
Well, all right, awesome. So one brick at a time. One of the things that I take from that is that, well, let me go back first and say that as entrepreneurs in entrepreneurship, we think that success should happen overnight. And sometimes we get fearful, we get afraid when that success doesn't happen. We know we have this big goal that we put out there and we expect for it to happen overnight. And then we get fearful because it's not working or it's not going the way that we think that it should. So when we talk about having that one break at a time, it's kind of like you got to really take what you got done in that moment. Be appreciative of what's done in that moment. That's your first break. You've got to do one piece of it. It was hard. We were fearful of it, but we got through it. But now what we got to do is we got to keep moving forward, you know, to get to the next point and to the next point, you know. So having that one break at a time, you got to take everything that you've done and you've tried, and you might have failed that, but you got to keep going. That's what I get from this whole entire process, is that you're going, you know, we're all going to have the fear. We're all going to go through the what ifs and this and that, and if it doesn't work and all of that. But when you finally get that, especially that first breakthrough, it is amazing. When you see some of the accomplishments that you have made from starting from point A to point B, it's amazing, folks. I'm telling you. But you got to keep going. What about you, Keith? What was your take on that?
Man, it's crazy, man, because, you know, we go a long way back, Sean. You know, that's one of the reasons why I asked you to take part of this today. You know, we go back, what, 5-6 years?
Absolutely. All
right. So, you know, and you've been one of the ones, and it's crazy that we never even met each other in person. We just been,
I know.
You know, and then, but it's because it's what I got from that is, you know, from my journey and our journey is, wow, the one brick at a time. You know, looking at, you know, trying to create a wall, you know, even the Great Wall of China. You know, we'll look at that obstacle and look at it like, you know, I can't finish that. I can't do that. Look how huge it is. How long would it take me? You know, when would I finish? And that's being an entrepreneur. You know, that's whatever we do. We always look at it as being the Great Wall of China.
Absolutely.
Because someone created it, and it was created in a time before we had these technologies and these machines that was able to do, you know, build a house in, you know, a month.
Right.
You know, so it was done, even the pyramids. But to go back to that one brick at a time, how can we accomplish anything? One brick at a time. But take it a little bit deeper is, that one brick that you lay at a time, it has to be the best brick. It has to be perfect. You know what I mean? Because if you lay a brick down perfectly and make sure it's perfect, and you put the level on it, and it's perfect, you don't have to backtrack.
Absolutely.
So by doing that, as an entrepreneur, we would never get to the pinnacle. We would just never get to that point. What I mean by that is you would never learn everything in this industry.
Right.
So as we go along in this journey, I just looked at, what Will Smith was talking about is all we could do is, as we go along, as we learning things, learn that one thing until you master it. One brick at a time, then move on to the next brick.
Absolutely.
So, man, that was powerful, man. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
and again, like I said, you know me, we've been talking, and I haven't always done that, but I'm focusing on that one brick at a time, right now, more so than anything.
I think the biggest thing, Keith, is that what we both understand is that it's a learning process. It's no different than being in school, and learning how to, write in cursive or do anything. It takes time, it takes practice. You don't go in starting out and saying, okay, I can do this and be done with it. You know what I mean? It takes practice and it takes learning. And that's what I think we both learned as entrepreneurs is that, we have learned a lot of skills. I look back at, what I can do now, and 5-6 years ago, I didn't have a clue how to do that. Mm-hmm. But the constant masterminding, the constant, conversations that me and you have had, we brainstorm, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I can't, I might say to myself, I can't do this. And you look at me and you say, come on, Sean, really? You got this, this, So sometimes, having those great connections as well to help you build that one brick at a time is also crucial to your success, because you can't do it by yourself. But surrounding yourself with great people and sharing those other thoughts, and hearing those other thoughts, you're like, oh yeah, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, that makes sense. But we got to get rid of the fear, because if we stay in that zone of fear, then nothing ever happens. You see nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of people, this is what I think happens in this industry as well. A lot of people look at joining whatever business it is. It could be a health and wellness. It could be, traffic business. It could be, whatever, traveling,
Absolutely.
It could be whatever. But a lot of people don't understand, once you join that particular opportunity, that's the easy part.
Right.
The hard part is learning how to promote yourself in a way that you will constantly have someone to talk to. And as the process go along, you will also learn skills to better yourself.
Absolutely.
It's like, even look at, I was at one time an athlete, but I can only look at the journey that I went through. Is when I first started playing basketball, I'm right-handed. I couldn't dribble with my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
How did I become able to dribble with my left hand? By practicing it.
Right, absolutely.
How did we all learn how to walk? By bumping our head.
Right.
How did we learn how to ride a bike? By
falling.
Right. By falling. What's the difference? And the difference is what we just watched on that video is fear.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's what's holding. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your sentence. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that's what's holding a lot of people back about anything.
Absolutely.
They don't know what's on the other side. We try to put a time limit on something, and you can't.
It's so true. So true. One of the things I had as I was watching it, I was taking some notes. And one of the first things that I put down after the title was fear is that we all have it.
Yeah.
But we got to do away with it. We got to learn how to do away with it. And so one of the things that I learned sometime last year, I had went to this thing called Millionaire Mind Experience.
Okay.
And they talked about basically relearning, reprogramming ourselves, and shifting everything that we've learned, throw it out the window. Because it really is what's hindering us from doing what we want to do. Because we get into telling ourselves, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or people are going to laugh at me, or people are going to say this. And so what we have to do is reprogram ourselves. I think you can attest to this, kid. We just talked about this the other night, about reading more, about reading those right books, to put you in the right mindset. Because whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're just someone who gets up and goes to work every day, if you got the right mindset, then your whole outlook on life becomes different. Because can't is a word that you no longer use. If you say, I need X amount of dollars and I don't have it, for people like us, entrepreneurs, we go in and we say, okay, so what can I do with the skill set that I have? What can I do to help me get that dollar amount? So we got to step away, so, again, we all have it, but we got to do away with it. And we got to start reading. We got to start listening. The videos like that, talking to other people, masterminding, so that we can get what we want. That's my take.
I think, a lot of people are getting away from the masterminding part because it's becoming more selfish. Honestly, like I look at it, and you know how I've been, man. We mastermind for over 5-6 years, and you know how I think. You know what I'm saying? So I've been around. Offline. Well, I learned from offline marketers, so I learned certain tactics and the way that you need to be in and how you should be loyal to your team, because when it ultimately comes down to, it's not an individual sport. This is like basketball, right? Football. This is a team sport, so if you building a team, and you feed in those individuals, even though you can't control them from signing with any other team, there's free agents, you know what I'm saying? But, if you winning and a system works, or is working, it's in our best interest to follow that path. Well, I think that a lot of people go wrong is they believe it's the business that's going to make them the money.
Absolutely.
Or it's the comp plan.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's not the business or the comp plan.
Right.
They're all mathematical equations. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not making money in one business, you're not going to just go into another business magically and start making money.
Absolutely.
One thing I can say, I started out in this industry, when I started making money with $10, and I've been flipping that since the last 5 years.
5, 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't made 6 figures yet, but what I'm saying is I'm always able to utilize my profits and move forward and progress those bricks.
Lay those bricks one at a time, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to.
But
what do you think? I was gonna ask you real quick. What do you think is basically, I ain't gonna say the secret, but will help a newbie marketer or a newbie entrepreneur? What is the foundation of what, in order to be successful in this industry? What do you believe that you have to have? Let me make sure I'm wording this question right. So what do you think, no matter what company you're promoting, what are the fundamentals that any person, entrepreneur, online, offline marketer should have in a toolbox to help them succeed?
Well, I think for me, one of the first things that you have to have is belief in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You also have to have a work ethic like you wouldn't believe, because you're going to need it. But let me go back to the first one. When I say belief in yourself, you gotta have such, and I used to hear this word all the time in the game and didn't quite understand it until recently. But you got to have such posture in this game that you understand going in that people are going to tell you that you're crazy.
Yeah.
You can't make money from that. That's a scam. That's a pyramid scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta, off the bat, you gotta know your family is gonna tell you, no, I'm not supporting you, and you crazy as hell. I just, it's just that. So you gotta believe in yourself, and whatever you partner up with, you gotta believe that that's the right place and space for you. But a total belief in yourself. And how do we keep that too? We just talked about it. We talk about watching all kind of motivational videos, talking with other people, finding out what other people are doing, reading, because you got to truly know in your mind that, you know, I can do this. But let me go back. When we talk about that too, we talk about entrepreneurship. People think it's a straight line like this. I'm gonna get into business and it's gonna be smooth sailing. And with these, I'm still going. We're gonna keep going. What we understand is you come to entrepreneurship and it starts out like this, and then it dips. And you do a big dip, you do a big dive.
Like stock market.
Right, you know, and then it comes back up, come back up a little bit, then you get a couple of high points and you riding high for a little bit, and then even out, it then dropped again. So, you know, you gotta understand it. So you gotta have that mindset going in, that the belief in yourself that you can withstand all of that, because it's going to happen. But I think a lot of times we get into stuff and people just think, I'm gonna be a millionaire overnight. And by day 2, they haven't made a quarter yet. So now I quit because this doesn't work. And it's not, like you said, the opportunity is not the car plan. It's all about us. We got to believe in us. We got to say, what kind of work ethic am I going to have? Am I going to put if I only say I can put 2 hours into my business, even a week, am I going to sit down 15 minutes, 20 minutes every day and talk to 5 people, talk to 10 people, put my opportunity in front of, you know, X amount of people? So definitely belief in yourself. That's my biggest thing. We got to believe that we can do it, but we also got to understand there are going to be hills and valleys along the way.
Yeah, I think it comes back to the individuals as well as the leaders that's recruiting as well, to do a little bit better job as far as giving a realistic view. As far as online marketing is a little bit harder based on, you know, how many leads and how many signups you're getting. It's easier with offline because they're not coming in as fast, the leads or whatever, person talk to them. But it's still like, you know, these videos right here, you know, these might be more of an open forum. That's why I named it the locker room. What happens in the locker room? You know, a lot of the fans don't see what goes on. The fighting with the players, you know, the X's and O's. This is what we're going to send 5 people after Jordan. You know what I mean? They don't know. So I created the locker room so you could actually see or hear, you know, what's going on in the background. So that's why I believe this, you know, this weekly platform will be beneficial to someone. It might not to everyone, but to someone, just to see, you know, like, what is it? What is the secret? It's really not, it's no secret. You know, if you want to label something the secret, the secret is the individual.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
You have the tools. What are you going to do with it?
Absolutely. And not only that, if you have the tools and you say, well, you're going to do it, because what happens is we get the tools and then they just kind of sit there. You know, they just kind of sit, just kind of closed up, never really opened up, never really learning anything, you know, and then wonder why we don't have success. And again, these are conversations that you and I have all the time. You know, you got to open it up. You got to open that book up and you got to read, you know.
What I can say is sometimes, see, somebody want to get on TV now. Sometimes I don't think, I can only speak for myself. It wasn't that I wasn't opening up certain tools. It was, I was putting too much on my plate at one time.
Right.
You know, and it goes back to just laying one brick perfectly before you move on. I'll grab this tool, I'll grab this business, then I'll grab this one. I ain't fully learned this one. So this one, crooked, you know what I'm saying? Then I put another one over crooked, so it finally, the support wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
And it's just, again, this is my favorite saying. It's like we all have to slow down to speed up.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
Definitely slow down to speed up. I do want to have one quote I did find that I thought was kind of good, that some people might benefit from. I know you will, Sean.
Okay. All right. What you got?
But it's if you do not make the time to learn to be a better investor now, you will be saying the same things tomorrow as you are today. You'll still be saying, I didn't have time to learn more or do more research. That's powerful because with that word investor, that you can replace that word investor with anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a better father, a better employee, you know, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But we will always keep saying that, like, you know, I could be doing 1,000,001 things today right now. My daughter is here. She doesn't live with me. I get on the weekends, but I could have been like, I got my daughter. But no, I set up a time side. I talked to Shine. We don't do this for at least 30 to 40, a half an hour to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter understands. We put this time, you know, we're utilizing this time.
Absolutely.
So, you know, everyone has time. It's just what we do with it. Some people on the weekends, they go to, go out. They go to the movies. Again, we all have time.
Mm-hmm.
Time. But, you know, we got to do the research. We got to improve ourselves. We got to, you know, figure out what it is that we're lacking, because if you're not having success in any business, it's because of a particular skill.
Right. Absolutely. I've had to learn that, you know, I mean, I think we both can attest to, you know, like I said earlier, you know, us both having fear. I mean, fear of the unknown. But as Will Smith said in the video, what are we really fearful of? You know, I mean, truly, we don't really have anything to be fearful of, because we never really know unless we try. Mm-hmm. And you never want to go through life with what I like to call the coulda, shoulda, wouldas of life. You know, being able to go out there and step out, even if you don't, you know, you may not become a millionaire, you know, you may not, you know, you may become a thousandaire, you know, and for some people, 1,000 is okay, you know, but you never know that unless you really step outside the box and do what you need to do.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, I know me, you know, I have children, you know, family, everything, just like everybody else. So, you know, my work money take care of my family. You know, what we're doing now for the past couple of years, you know, it's helped me survive. You know what I mean? Because if I wasn't doing it, you know, I wouldn't have the extra money. You know, that's the difference. The time that I'm using with it, I do have extra money compared to other people that's saying it's too hard, I can't do this. For whatever reason, maybe it is. You know, I can speak on myself, but it has put extra money when I needed it in my pocket and when I didn't. You know, so I will prefer to utilize my time. You know, you see in the background, my time to be able to enjoy time with, you know, the people I love the most.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I you know, Keith, I think, and actually, I have a great idea for us to share something with the audience next week.
Okay.
We talk about a video, but, you know, I think that's it. You know, a lot of us want time freedom, and some of us know how to get it, but we're fearful.
Yeah.
Some of us don't know how to get it, and we just don't know what to do. And so I'm hoping that this hangout will show people that you just gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta step out. You gotta step outside of your comfort zone. You know, and one of the things I know that that you and I do a lot of times is that when I'm in my car, a lot of times I got a little portable Bluetooth speaker that I take, and I turn my phone on, and I'm listening to a motivational video, or I'm listening to a training, you know, within my program or something. I'm constantly feeding my brain with something. If I can't physically get a book and say, hey, I'm going to sit here and read this book, you know, right now, that I'm still feeding my mind with something. I'm still learning. Whether it's even going back and watching this hangout that we do. Yeah. Because even though we're doing it right now, we're saying things, you know, I might go back and like, oh yeah, you know what? That sparks something else. That maybe that's some more content that we can share with the audience and stuff. But you know, you gotta take, you know, if you're really serious about, I mean, even becoming a better you, take the time you have, 10 minutes on the bus, 15 minutes you sitting down, and put something here that's really gonna really cause you to think and to really just, because even when I say I'm not doing nothing, and keep me, you had this conversation, I ain't doing nothing. You call me, hey, what you doing in your business today? And I said, I ain't did nothing. I'll get off the phone with you and I'll get on my laptop and I'm gonna do something. If it ain't nothing for 5 minutes, you know, because I got that accountability partner to say, hey, listen, you know, you got to be consistent. You know that you need to be doing something, you know. So, you know, again, for anybody who sees this, just, you know, step outside of your comfort zone, believe in yourself, believe that you truly can do whatever it is that you set your mind to, and surround yourself with some great people. I mean, I've been surrounded by Keith. I mean, it's crazy. I don't even know if we ever really told our story, but, you know, we met online through another business. And we weren't even friends. We had a mutual friend who connected us, and we've been talking 6 years strong ever since. So, you know, these online relationships are just as important as those face-to-face relationships. You know, Keith has been a great support to me in my business and my, no matter what. And that's the other thing I want to mention about it. Doesn't even matter if you're in the same business or not, because a lot of this is generic. It's just basic stuff. I think Keith can truly, you know, agree to that it's basic information. You know, it's not about a business. You know, I'm not trying to recruit Keith. Keith's not necessarily trying to recruit me. That doesn't mean we won't come together and do something, but it's about, at the end of the day, no matter what business, we kind of need some of the same basic skills in order to have success. So, and again, I think Keith can definitely attest to that, you know?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we haven't even said any businesses in this hangout, is because this has nothing to do with what business I'm in, Shine's in, you know, online, offline. It's anything. It's your dreams. You know, it's like she said, it's general. This is just general information that, you know, if you come across this video, you know, whoever comes across this video, if you had fear, doubt, or whatever the case may be, we're just here to say, listen, we all have fear in whatever we do. We was afraid to walk at one time. We were young to realize it, or remember it rather, you know, and, you know, it's just, it's us. The fear is not even real. You know, that's something that was made up. Made up, or some mechanism trying to save us or protect us from ourselves, but it's not real. You know, just stop believing that, you know, you will fail. Believe that you can succeed. Just the scary part is you just don't know how long it's going to take or when it's going to happen.
Right. Exactly.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part, you know. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I do want to share something before I forget. Listen, if you have made it at least to this part, I don't know how long it is, I want to give you some free gifts real quick. Both of them will be in the description. And this is just a thank you from us, just for saying, you know, thanks for listening to us ramble off on nonsense. One is a mobile miner for free cryptocurrencies. It's called Electroneum. It's absolutely free. Currently, we only have the app for the Android right now. However, the iOS Apple app will be released pretty soon. But looking at the description below, there will be a link to go there with step-by-step training of how and what to do to start receiving free Electroneum. I'm going to actually show you some proof right now. If you look right there, you will see receive mobile miner, the last two. All right. So that is proof that it's free, and I just received 20 in the last week or so. So that's the first thing. And another free gift that we're going to give you is, if you look in the description below, it will be something that says earn free Bitcoin. take a look at it. If you would like to participate and earn free Bitcoin that way, definitely take advantage. If not, you're not hurting me. It's not a business or whatever the case may be. Again, these are some of the things that I use to earn passively and, invest for the future, especially if it's free. It's free.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to throw that in there before I forget. Anything else, Sean, you want to add?
I'm actually going to throw a free gift in as well. I don't even think you're aware of this right now. But I created this entrepreneur toolkit. It's a little PDF.
Oh, time out. Hold up. Like, you be holding stuff back, Sean. What is this?
No.
I'm not giving. Listen, I'm start charging you. When you want me to do stuff, I'm gonna send you my PayPal email address first, because this is something I've been hoodwinked. I feel like, yeah, go ahead. And we supposed to be boys. And I'm hearing this with the general public. Man, get out of here. Go ahead. I should mute your mic. Look, I should mute your mic.
Let me see. I don't even know if I can pull it up, but anyway, I created this free PDF toolkit that basically walks you through entrepreneurship. Some of the things you need to think about when you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. Just some of the pitfalls that we get into. Let me see. I don't even know if I can pull it up right now. Next time I'm gonna be more prepared, make sure I have it. But I'm gonna drop the link to Keith. You're gonna put that in the description as well, so you guys can go and get that. It's free. It doesn't talk about any kind of business. It's all about your journey to entrepreneurship. So I'm gonna do that as well.
Wow, man. I don't know how long it's been, Sean, but I know I'm going in my dark zone, my shadow a little bit, so I'm trying to weave. Yeah, I think that was kind of good for the first episode of Locker Room. I'm trying to think, what else can we say? What is it?
Actually, you know what, Keith? I'm feeling real generous. So you know what? I got another free tool that I'm gonna drop as well. It's about 14 of the best free marketing tools out there. So I'm gonna drop those 2 things out there for you. So I'm gonna send you those links as well. Okay. I want people to really stop saying you can't and to really go out there and start, as Keith said, be focused on one thing, learn that one thing, but just know that there are all sorts of tools. And I think Keith, said it best earlier. A lot of times we get a lot of information, a lot of stuff going on. Get focused on one thing and you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, see, my fault, man. I got my daughter over here. She over there. I usually don't let her use with the cha-ching phone. She had the cha-ching phone. I got her own phone, so now she want to get on mine. So I'm like, nah, I had to look. I'm almost done. You see what I got to go through? This is real stuff. Get back up. All right. That's Nora, by the way. Nora. Definitely make sure you give me that back up. Come on. Make sure you give me that information so before I can put it in the description as well. So that they receiving 1, 2, 3, 4, free tools or gifts or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to take them now.
Exactly.
You don't have to take them.
I'm sending that to you right now.
Yeah, I did just see that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right, great. I'll make sure I get that to him. But look, I think that's enough for today.
Sounds good.
What I do want to say is next week we will do this at the same bat time on the same bat channel.
Oh, awesome.
At 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be more structured next week. A little bit more trainings and strategies that we've been using that might help you. Again, we will not talk about any business. However, if you want to know what we're doing, just reach out. You know what I'm saying? Just reach out.
Absolutely.
To see how we're doing. But the one thing I do want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, and this is something that I've learned from some of my mentors, but it's really, the bread and butter for any business. And that's just the foundation of any business, of how you should build your business, or how most gurus or whatever you want to call it, successful people build their business. And that's by one, having one business, or not, let me rephrase that, having a business, you know, whatever that business is. You know, you have to have a business to promote somehow, right. You know, so a business. So that's step one. Step two is you have to have some type of marketing system to help you promote it. You know, because if you don't have no workers and it's just you, how can you hit the masses as fast as possible? So you need something, a marketing system that help you promote said business. And the third part of the whole equation is you have to have eyeballs on that particular business. You have to have somebody to view your information in order for them to want to come to you for that said business. So you have to have a business, a marketing system, and somehow, and again, we all did it, your friends and family, they're going to, at one point in time, they're going to be tired of hearing about the next best thing that you're in. However, you as a beginning entrepreneur, you have to go through said things to figure out what works for you. So it's like a win-lose situation. Right. Just know that after a couple of times, you know, you might not be able to go to your friends and families. So you will definitely need to learn how to reach other individuals. So that's regardless of what it is you're doing. You could be a barber, hairstylist, you know, you will always need those three things. So I definitely wanted to leave that with you. That's how I, you know, promote whatever business that I'm promoting. It just works. You know, I have a business. I need a marketing system. Now I need to get people to look at the overall system.
Absolutely.
Voila. You know.
Sounds great.
But next week we would definitely get you some more information on just little things that can help your business and help you automate it, get organized per se, and things of that nature. A lot of free nuggets, and I look forward to me and Shine if she's so willing to grace me with her presence on the locker room. I don't know. I might need to get her a little, you know, a whistle or something for next week.
No, you know. I'm here as long as I'm around. I'm here because I think this is a great way to just really share with people, you know, just what, you know, being an entrepreneur is really about. And this is it. This is really, you know, about us being able to sit here for an hour and just really collaborate and just talk and just share with the people, you know, that it's doable. You know, does it take time? Yes. Is it going to take time? Absolutely. But if you're willing and you're open, then you know the world is yours.
And surround yourself with good people that's going through the same struggle. You gotta be around people that's going through what you're going through.
Absolutely.
You know, kick you in the ass sometimes.
Yeah, listen, I get kicked in the butt a lot sometimes. You know,
I think I left a couple shoes over there.
Hush. You know, but you know what? But it's all good though. I mean, because truly, that's what I need, you know, sometimes, and that's what he needs. I'll call him and, you know, I mean, he's had, you know, I don't want to get into his whole personal thing, but he has some things going on and, you know, with family and stuff like that. And it's like, don't get me wrong. We all need time to mourn and grieve and do all the other stuff. And I'm there because I've been through it. So I understand what he's going through, but I said, all right, man, I hear you. I feel you. Yep. And after you get through with that last little cry or whatever, I need you to wipe that one. And I need you to push your button.
Put me out there. I was crying. I got an image to look up to. You know what I'm saying? Uphold rather.
Whatever. After you over here kicking my butt and leaving your shoes over here, and all bets are off at this point.
I see how you do it. Can't take sisters nowhere. You know, but it's cool. But definitely, ladies and gentlemen, we're right under an hour, so I do want to get out of here. But thank you again for watching this. If you did watch this, if not, you would never know what went on in this video. However, my name is Keith L. Jones. If you want to see this playlist or previous, depending on what time you watch this video, the next one, just look in the description as well. You will see a playlist to all my live streams, and I will see you on the next video.